Guys, we got a bit of an issue here, unfortunately. It's so bad my glasses are already fogging up. You know what? No, I'm not messing with this today. I'm putting on my contacts. BRB. That's a lot better. So, this is my brand new Epiphone 1959 Les Paul Standard reissue. Is it called reissue? I don't think it is. But this is the brand new Joe Bonamassa signature Lazarus edition of this guitar. I don't know how many of you actually keep up with Epiphone and Gibson and like the Les Paul world, but these shook things up quite a bit a few weeks ago when they first came out. Mainly because it was just another version of the 1959 Les Paul, and then you throw Joe Bonamassa's name on anything, and then you combine all of that with the fact that a lot of people seem to be unhappy with these guitars. Now, me personally, I love this guitar. Mine didn't end up really having any of the issues that we're going to talk about. Unfortunately, quite a few people seem to be unhappy or have problems with their Epiphone Lazarus, and 95% of those issues seem to be revolving around the neck pickup and the neck pickup ring. You see, what's happening is when these guitars came out, I started seeing a lot of photos of people getting their guitar, opening it right out of the box. At first it looks like it's broken, but the neck pickup was just not attached. Now, I'm sure if you're watching this video, you probably know who Trogley is, and he did a review and demo of this guitar a little while after I did mine, and he found out that what's happening is basically the springs aren't big enough, and from the factory they're setting the neck pickup pretty low, like almost even with the pickup ring. So when he opened his, he realized his pickup ring was barely screwed in, like barely hanging on, and a lot of people are just getting their guitar with like one side or both sides just not attached to the pickup ring at all. Now, mine came fine. Mine was perfectly fine. I didn't have any of these issues, but it does look like it is sitting pretty low, and it may be like barely hanging on by a thread. So apparently what happened is they set them up like this from the factory with the neck pickup barely screwed into the pickup ring, and then when they shipped them out, just all the little bumps and jostling that these guitars go through during shipping just knocked it loose, and it just ends up coming detached and unthreading, and I don't know. I'm seeing if mine will like get knocked loose or something, but I don't know. This screw is pretty loose though, so we're gonna open this up and see. So I think I may have a solution to this issue, other than just like re-screwing your pickup back into your pickup ring. I'm gonna put the tall, historically accurate pickup rings onto it. Now, before we dive any further into this, I'm gonna get the YouTuber speech out of the way right away. So if you go on to enjoy this video, or this video ends up being helpful for you, I would really appreciate it if you let me know and help support this channel by leaving a like on the video. It really does help. So is leaving a comment, sharing the video, and if you find yourself coming to this channel more and more often and you're enjoying the content here and you haven't yet subscribed, I would really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. Just smack it. Just beat the shit out of it. Your name is Amber Heard, and that subscribe button's name is Johnny Depp. Is that too far? I don't know, but yeah, if you enjoy this channel and you haven't yet already, subscribe. It takes half a second. Why haven't you done it already? Why? Now, last but not least, maybe you've done all of that and you still want more. Maybe you want preferential treatment in the comments. Maybe you want early and exclusive access to some videos. Maybe you want to see your name pop up in my videos. If any of those seem enticing to you, maybe consider joining my YouTube membership that I just launched. Maybe you want all those things. Maybe you just want a few of them based on the tier. That's up to you. But if you really love this channel and you really want to show your support, that's the best way to do it. Oh yeah, last but not least, follow me on Instagram at DenDenBMX. Okay, I'm done. I'm done being a tool. That didn't take that long, see? Now let's get right back into the rest of this video. Pull this thing over here. So maybe you've seen my other videos where I do this to Les Pauls. What's going to happen is we're going to set this girl down, we're going to take the strings off, we're going to take these old pickup rings off, and then we're going to put it, and then we're going to replace them with these. These are pickup rings, but they are very special pickup rings. That sounds ridiculous, but it's true. You see, on the original bursts, like the 58s, the 59s, and the 60s, if you look at those guitars, you'll realize that all of them have tall pickup rings. But then if you look at a modern day Les Paul, more than likely, they're going to have smaller pickup rings. Now, I don't want to make too big of a deal about it, but I think that looks horrendous. In my mind, if you have a Les Paul, and it's a burst Les Paul especially, it should have the tall burst spec pickup rings. And if it doesn't, you should be ashamed of yourself. Not really, I just really like that look. I think that is like the quintessential Les Paul look. I don't know, I'm weird. But based off my previous videos doing this, it seems like I'm not the only one that likes this. Now for Gibsons, it's easy. You can just order their true historic pickup rings and they fit perfectly, and it's all you have to do is just sand them to shape. But with Epiphones, it's a little bit different. There's a word for it. I'm drawing a blank because I'm an idiot. You would think they'd be exactly the same, but no, the pickup rings on Epiphones and on Gibsons are different. For whatever reason, Epiphones are wider. It's almost like they just got into Photoshop and just stretched out the pickup ring a little bit. I don't know why, but they're wider, so Gibson pickup rings don't fit on it. So I had to go scouring the internet for like 4 days to try and find some freak like me that wants tall pickup rings on their Epiphones. And luckily, I found them. There's a brand on eBay. They're on Amazon and everything too, but for some reason they only have these on eBay. It's called Vintage Forge, and this brand makes the tall pickup rings for Epiphone. They make them. I found them a while ago. I've been using them ever since. I'm putting them on this one right now. Look at that. Isn't that going to look lovely? Now, some of you may look at me and go, Denny, you absolute chimp. This white does not match up with this cream. But don't fret. That's actually going to kind of make this a little more accurate to a real 59. Because if you go looking on a lot of pictures of 58s and 59s and 60s and just bursts in general, more times than not, you're going to notice that the color of the plastics don't actually match up that well. And most of the time, the pickup rings are going to be more white than the pick guard. So this will end up actually working pretty well. On top of it making it more accurate anyway by putting the tall pickup rings on it. My question is, why didn't they come with this? I know some of the regular Epiphone 1959s came with tall pickup rings, but then some of them, like the one I got first, didn't, and now these new Lazarus ones don't come with it. What are you doing, Epiphone? Put tall pickup rings on your bursts. Not just on your bursts, but on all your bursts. On every guitar. Every Les Paul should have tall pickup rings. Why did we stop doing this? They're gonna calm down. Okay, so how this relates to the pickup problem is this ring is a little bit taller than this ring. Not by much, but maybe it's actually gonna make a difference. Maybe it'll actually give us a little more room so these screws aren't hanging on by a thread. I guess the only way we're gonna find that out is to just do it. So let's change the layout here and let's get to doing the damn thing. All right, you hoodlums. So I think what we're gonna do is I'm either just gonna slack these or I'm gonna take them off. I think I'm gonna take them off because I gotta lube up this fretboard a little bit. It's a little dry. But yeah, we'll take them off. We're gonna unscrew this neck pickup and see how close it is to actually coming loose. After that, I'm gonna time lapse me putting the different pickup rings on because I don't want this video to be 5 hours long. But we'll see if switching out the pickup rings could be a viable option to stabilize it a little bit more. Regardless, it's gonna look better. Then after that, we'll just get some plain clips. Alright, time to see what's really going on here. I mean, there's a little bit of thread on that one. Yeah, there's one side that was really low, and on that side, there's barely any thread. Like, I don't think enough to get knocked loose, but I could undo it with my fingers. How bizarre. So there you can see that's what the color difference is going to be. Yes, it'll be noticeable, but I really don't think it's going to be that bad. Nor do I care. I just want tall pickup rings. So yeah, I think I'm just going to time lapse the rest of this. All I'm doing is just switching out the pickup rings, oiling up this fretboard a little bit, and then restringing it. But if you want to get yourself a pair of these tall pickup rings and want to actually properly install them, I'll link the video where I do the step-by-step process of it to my old Epiphone 1959 and my old Epiphone Les Paul Classic. When you order these pickup rings, they come flat, and you have to shape them to the top, which does require some sanding. It's not a lot of work, but it is a little project. So if you want that how-to, I will leave the link in the description, as well as the link of where to actually get these. So yeah, time lapse in 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're already pausing the time lapse because my theory was correct, and it was kind of totally just a guess. I'm amazed I was right. But since these pickup rings are taller than the old ones, it does give you some more room to actually get some tension on these springs so that they're not hanging on by a thread. It is looking like this is going to be a viable solution to the notorious pickup issue that the Lazarus Les Pauls are having. So if you have a Lazarus Les Paul with a neck pickup that's hanging on by a thread, maybe consider getting some of these Vintage Forge pickup rings to alleviate that issue. Back to the time lapse. Totally didn't just record all the guitar playing and then lost the audio file and redoing it now. Now on the day I'm recording this, it is All Hallows Eve, so who says we can't get a little festive? I threw on my All Might jacket, put the pretty lights on, I loaded up my Neural DSP Gojira archetype and see what this thing sounds like. one out early. Okay, it's too hot in here. This jacket's gotta come off. Tell everyone to subscribe. Subscribe and my dog will get his eye back. Just kidding, he won't, but you should still subscribe. Are there any Deftones fans in the house? I think that'll do. So, I think that's going to wrap up this little video of us switching out some pickup rings, which ended up fixing the little QC issue that some of these guitars have. Now, I want to be very clear that it's not exactly okay that so many guitars came like this. Like, under normal circumstances, that'd be pretty unacceptable. But we also got to remember the guitar manufacturing industry, along with pretty much every industry right now, is quite a shit show. And I can all but guarantee everyone who's working in that industry right now is being overworked and more than likely underpaid as well. Just keep that in mind. I see it in all the Facebook groups of people ranting and raving, be like, I paid almost $1,000 for this guitar and the neck pickup wasn't even on. I get it. We all get it. It's unfortunate, but it's also not the end of the world. It's one thing if your guitar comes broken, but if a part just got knocked loose, is it really that big of a deal? It's a pretty easy fix. Like, even if you're not going to switch out these pickup rings, you just have to reattach your neck pickup to your pickup ring. It is unfortunate, and under normal circumstances it shouldn't have happened, but we got to remember what time we're living in right now, and we should probably be a little more understanding and sympathetic to all the people who are busting their ass and being overworked and underpaid to get these guitars to us. All I'm saying is that there's way worse problems you could have when you're getting a guitar delivered, and as we figured out in this video, there's a pretty easy fix for it. And it's not like this is the only fix. What the main issue is just the size of the spring. Epiphone likes to use these smaller springs instead of the real long skinny ones that are a huge pain in the ass to deal with, but they are kind of necessary in order to keep tension and to have enough room to adjust your pickup without it falling off. So even if you don't want to replace the pickup rings, you can just get a set of regular tall skinny springs and spend 4 hours trying to get them in there, maybe have one shoot off into the stratosphere to get lost in your carpet. And it's not even really a QC issue. It's not like some guy just like threw that on, didn't screw it in, and then shipped it out. No, they screwed it in, barely, but it did get knocked loose during shipping. I was lucky enough to get one that didn't get knocked loose, but as we did see, there was one side that was barely hanging on by a thread. But again, there are solutions. You can just screw it right back in and it's going to be fine more than likely. You could get the taller, skinnier springs, or you could go this route with the tall pickup rings, and it eliminates that issue that was there if you had it. But anyway, that's going to wrap up this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, especially if you made it this far. If you did enjoy, I would really appreciate it if you let me know and like the video and help support the channel. Leave a comment, share the video around to spread the information, and then of course click the subscribe button if you haven't already and you enjoy the content that I put out. And if you really like this channel, maybe consider becoming a member and getting access to a bunch of cool exclusive perks that only you will get. Follow me on Instagram at DenDenBMX. That is the end of this video. Thank you guys once again so much for watching. I will see you guys next time.